Okay.
So guys, in music, there's something you call texture, you know? So basically, what's texture? Texture is the physical feeling of an object. And that object, it can be rough, it can be smooth, it can be sharp, it can be hard. Let's take, for example, sandpaper. A sandpaper is rough in texture. Some materials, like this fabric, it has some rough edges. This is silk. It's smooth. You know, in music, how do you apply texture? Like, for example, like you see music producers, you hear things like harmony, symphony. Now, you have like 4 different types of textures from a music type. You have monophony, heterophony, homophony, and polyphony. Now let's simplify this term. So let's imagine I'm going to use like food, like spaghetti and noodles. You see, when you cook your noodles or spaghetti, there's one string, right? So let's imagine the music, the producer is producing music. When you look at the, let's say Fruity Loops, for example, you see that string that goes. So let's take it. So one string, that's monophony. So it can just be one sound. That sound can be ta or boom. When you hear the string, monophony, 1. But when you say like polyphony, now many sounds combine. That's why sometimes when you see when the producer is making the music, you see like different strings. He has added many sounds. That's polyphony. And some sounds can be hard, some sounds can be sharp, some sounds can be smooth. Now let's take this into dancing, for example, with texture. If I do this, it's hard. Same movement. If I do this, it's soft. You see, different, same movement, but different texture. If I do this, it's soft, it's not sharp. But if I do this, it's sharp, it's texture. Different texture in music is very, very important because the music has different textures. The difference between now like clothes and the music is that in the music you can hear so many texture in the music. You can hear some parts where it's sharp. You can hear some parts where it requires you to be smooth. So you have to understand texture. That's why sometimes when you dance, some people cannot connect with what you're doing because they're not feeling the texture of the music. You're not showing certain details of the music. It's not every time you want to fight and kill the music. It's not ego, like how I say in my country. You're not fighting. It's not every time you have to go aggressive. You have to pay attention. That's where artistry comes in. That's where you show a deepness and awareness of the music. So when I hear people say like, oh, Alex the Cage, for example, is a boring hip-hop dancer, I laugh because it shows ignorance. When you see someone display foundation and simplify it and go deep in texture and timing, that's something you need to be aware of. So I hope you guys can really understand what I'm trying to talk about. So I'm still a student. I love to learn, I love to observe a lot. So yeah.